And we're live. Super Stack Bros. We are here. Best Ball Guy, PPR Tyler. We've been streaming our asses off, but we had to get together with the bros, do a little battle. So let's get started.
Free for all!
Dudes, how's it going?
It's going great, man. I was really expecting the DeLorean intro that you were teasing on Twitter in the DMs, and you posted on Twitter. I thought that's the intro we were gonna get, but no, I guess you only saved the the good stuff for your stream. That's okay, but no, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
Doesn't fit the vibe at all, yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised when I saw they dropped another Superflex. I think I'm like the biggest Superflex fan like in this space. Like I kind of feel like that's just kind of like my thing that everyone knows that I like. So I'm really pumped that we get to draft a Superflex on the Stack Bros channel, so I can really just show my muscles and flex on Best Ball Guy who got bodied in the draft lead a couple weeks ago. He's get bodied in here again today.
Yeah, apparently every draft have just been smoked, but we're gonna see what the results are at the end of the season. But two things: one, I'm doing great. Two, I am worried because I do think Tyler, for whatever reason, does have the super flex over me. I mean, I am such a diehard at what I do, and that is like the best ball mania. That is the single entry, single quarterback. Like I've been doing that for the last 3 or 4 years very heavily. So I think Tyler does have the edge there. And then on two, he's really got the by having the Wii characters, he's got some cool. I don't know who this character is that he's playing right now, but that dude looks badass.
Baby. Meta Knight, dude, he's a goat.
Meta Knight, yeah, that's like almost sounds like Mega Knight from Clash Royale. I mean, that's very nerdy, but no, that guy looks badass, dude. So I'll give you the edge there. Just work with Yoshi here. Yoshi's just a classic in the space, so can't go wrong. You got to know what you're doing though to play a Yoshi. I'll say that.
I can't believe you've never played Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Like that's like the one. I feel like that's like the best one they've ever had. Is the Brawl one.
Possibly, but
we're older than you, Tyler.
That's all it is. Yeah,
but Brawl came out when I was in like middle school, so you guys would have been like still like kind of in that like video like prime video game age range. Like when did Super Smash Bros.
You go from the Nintendo games as a kid, and then you get into the first person shooters as you enter high school.
Dude, this dropped in 2008.
Yeah, that was
I was graduating 8th grade in
8.
2008.
Same.
Exactly.
Same.
Yep.
I had just discovered Halo 2 and 3. So
there it is.
Life was over as I knew it.
That was when Call of Duty, like I forget the first like big one.
Is
like,
Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare. Yeah.
I thought World of War was the first one. Yeah. World of War was the first one I played. Then was Modern Warfare first, then World of War, and then MW2.
I think it was COD 4 Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
what it was called, and that was like the big one. Like you played, it had Hangar and Rust and whatever, all the standards.
All right, boys, you wanna rip into a draft? A PUG with
yeah,
Superflex?
pull. All right, ready, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm good.
3, 2, 1, here we go.
Boom. Oh, we're perfect. We're in. Let's get it.
This shouldn't be that bad because, there's only 3 entry max. A lot of people might have used them up already.
Did you do any of the Superflex the puppy Superflex when it came out? Did you do any of those?
I did 4 of them, and I watched one dude in my very first one basically just annihilate the whole room, man. I mean, he took advantage of that ADP like someone I've never seen. He started off, it was like CeeDee Lamb, then like Amon-Ra, and then it was Debo, and then Waddle, and then he went like he's still got like Achan, like James Cook, Kenneth Walker, just hammered it. Got elite tight ends on top of that, and then rounds like 10 through 14, he still managed to get Derek Carr, Bo Nix, Drake May, like up like 4 starting
insane.
quarterbacks. I was like, dude, you won. Like I don't even need to do anymore. Like I just watched you win. You knew exactly what you were doing.
There we go.
I just did one of these right before. I already know quarterbacks do not last as long as the puppy one. They are going quick.
People are taking it more seriously with the $12.
Right.
Yeah. So,
right.
My strategy in this has been like I don't know. Like I have 3 rules. I actually have to drop that TikTok. I was holding out on it because the Superflex contest ended, so I was like, okay, no one's gonna care about this because Superflex is done. But I'll have to drop it after the stream. But basically, like my 3 rules were, it's the first one is there's some people who take 3 quarterbacks in the first 3 rounds. I don't think that's the way you should be going at it whatsoever, because the guy you can get in round 3 is not that much different than the guy you're going to get in round 5. And you're just like, if you just look at it from a macro perspective and you're like, yeah, I drafted 3 quarterbacks in a row. One of those quarterbacks every week is guaranteed not to play. Like, they're not going to hit your lineup. I want to have guys that can actually have hit my lineup every week in my first 3 rounds. So I think drafting 3 quarterbacks in a row is not the way to go about in this contest. The second rule was running backs matter. Some people have no clue that it's literally it's 2 receivers, not 3, and it's 2 running backs. So running backs are still kind of pushed down the board, because it's like, yeah, they infuse the quarterbacks in there, but like they haven't the market hasn't caught up to the fact that like Bijan should probably be higher than like some of these receivers. Like Bijan should be going above Garrett Wilson, should be going above, even like Chase. Like he should be in that tier with like JJ and all those other guys, in my opinion. So the third rule is to draft Jacoby Brissett in around like 15 or later. He's like the freest guy you can get. He's going to start probably week 1. So like just any starting quarterback you can get in like the 15, like I can get him like around 16, 17, 18. Absolute steal. So those would be my 3 rules for Superflex if you're thinking about entering this contest.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't done a single Superflex contest. I'm in so many dynasty leagues that are all Superflex, but like I don't know why. For some reason, I just don't enjoy the Superflex best ball as much. But I mean, whatever. I still enjoy it. It's still best ball, but not my thing as much. It's not. I'm not the PPR Tyler of the Superflex game.
Somebody's about to get Richardson at 8 here. That's a steal right there.
The 112 is a very interesting spot for you. I'm curious to see what you do here, but I did go back and look at, because I did maybe 20 to 25 Superflex teams last year, and I had 2 that made the semifinals, and I wanted to just see what was up with those, why they worked, and both of them had awesome running backs. So the running backs definitely prevailed over the wide receivers, with you only needing to start 2 wide receivers. They're just not as valuable. And then these top end running backs, especially, I would say all the way down to right about Kyron is where I have a big cutoff. Like you want to get locked in with one of these like insane upside running backs with these super flex teams is what I've been noticing. I've also kind of liked doing an anchor quarterback, if that makes sense. Kind of like one guy I'm planning on, being the breakout this year, or just finishing above, or just fit. Like I took Mahomes, like just assuming Mahomes going to be quarterback 1 after I draft him. And then from there, just building in other later quarterbacks. And the cool part is a super flex, right? Like I can still get, if, I don't know, someone random, let's say Rashid Shaheed has a 27-point week. Like he's going to outscore my second quarterback that week, so you can still get into the super flex with other positions. Sorry. Yeah.
We got a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson start here. So just bullying the room on wide receivers and see.
Right.
Let's see what quarterbacks come back. So the interesting part for this is we still have the 4th round wheel.
Oh God.
I was going to say that's going to make it real interesting with the
Let's move that down to the 6th round so that at least tight end becomes more of a pick.
Yeah.
What about 5th round? Split the difference. 5th round wheel.
Sure, 5th round wheel. Take Sam Laporta, like way ahead of ADP.
Is it? Yeah, I was gonna say, should we do 6 then?
I'll pull up the ADP right now. So the first tight end is Laporta at 44. So I guess that is 4th round still, but
let's keep it 4th. Let's say
they can
4th.
fall pretty far.
Yeah. Also, too, like I think. Like when you talk about like the quarterbacks, like if you're going 2 in a row, I just kind of like to stop it too. I don't feel the need to like take another QB in the 5th or the 6th. Like if you have Richardson and Love, you've already made the bet that those guys are good. And like Best Ball Guy was talking about, you can, if you just like, you want to be stacked up on your running backs and your receivers. Like you said, you're only starting 2 at minimum, right? Yeah. You're not starting 3 or 4. You're probably starting 2 or 3, especially if you go 2 quarterbacks and like deep threats too. Or like guys like Rashee Rice, guys you can kind of hide on your roster a little easier than you can in like 3 wide receiver formats.
Exactly.
Like deep threats like Brian Thomas, Rashid Shaheed, I had a ton of in the puppy super flex. Like I think the deep threats are way more viable in this contest, especially because you can hide their bad weeks, and then when you get their good weeks, it's so much better for your lineup when you have those guys. Maybe like as like your 4th receiver, but they're gonna hit your lineup because you're only starting 2 receivers anyway. So
right. I will say I like what what's his name there at the 11 hole. I can't pronounce that properly, but by starting, I'm not even gonna try. But by starting with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, that's almost what you gotta kind of do in a way. Is like, okay, I'm not gonna beat the guy who took Josh Allen. The guy, by the way, going Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Herbert is terrible.
Yeah, that's horrendous.
But going back to what I'm saying, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson is what is a wise thing to do, because now that guy is saying like, okay, if I'm not going to beat you at quarterback, I'm going to have the wide receiver 1 and 2 on the season, like just dominating that position at least for the season. I can backstack later. That's not even to say what Tyler did was wrong either, because I do think Kyler is super undervalued in this format. He could easily finish as a top 3 or 4 fantasy quarterback with his
100%.
rushing upside. I'm on the clock. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say like last year I remember doing these I did like the big board super flex and then obviously the other ones that dropped, but it like at that 12 range last year, it feels crazy to say now. Deshaun Watson was the guy that was going at the 1-2 turn last year because he still kind of had some hype coming into the season because he like people are like, yeah, the 6 games that he played the other season, like it kind of whatever, he's coming back, like
Small
he's gonna be good to go
sample,
this season. Exactly. So it felt like a lot more disgusting to go Deshaun at the 12. So I'd like when you're at I would say the back half of the draft, probably pick 9 or later, I would really start entertaining the idea of going 0 quarterback with your first 2 picks. Like because you can still catch up with guys like, we got guys coming back where like I think you're fine with Kirk, you're fine with Stafford, like getting some of these other guys down here if you're building out super teams with like, like we said, this draft started Chase and Jefferson, Tyreek and Breece Hall. Like you can still catch up at QB just because you didn't get an elite one. Like there's guys that go in like the QB 25 or later that always just seem to have really good years that vastly outperform ADP. So I would definitely don't feel like you have to get quarterback in your first 2 rounds, especially if you're picking 9 through 12. I think you can catch up in other areas and then still hammer away at some.
Okay,
some
Tyler, I'm gonna have you do the 4th round wheel because I think Best Ball Guy has 2 first-round picks and Patrick Mahomes, so I think I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Unfortunately.
I've only made 2 picks.
Does that mean I take the wheel because I have the better team?
Oh yeah, he can.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I get the wheel because I have the better team.
Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say there's no way that I can be losing to Tyler because I gotta. That's the one part about Superflex, especially a 3-entry max. In fact, I'll say this right now: if you start your Superflex, if you're doing the PUG Superflex right now, and they give you a top 3 or 4 pick, I think don't even do your other 2. Just take that 1 bullet and run, because the advantage of Josh Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, and Mahomes, Hurts is insane. Like it really is, as long as you structure it right. But I will do the wheel here whenever you're ready.
Alrighty. Tyler, or let's wait for Tyler to do his.
I'm just gonna go Derrick Henry, man. Here, like I think I could get receiver a little later too. Like just go with these 2. Also, too, I picked Stafford over Kirk because that week 17 game stack. Like game stacking your quarterbacks in this format is just it's so like that's what you want to be doing if you're shooting for that upside if you do get to week 17, because unlike the single quarterback, it's like one of those guys is gonna start. But in this, like if it's a 40-point game on each side, like that's gonna be huge. So
come on,
here we go.
Quarterback.
Oh, tight end. There we go.
So
There's actually tight ends coming back to you here, though.
I know. There's plenty of tight ends. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. This draft,
it'd be cool because I do have Gibbs. If I got Laporta, at least have a little Lions correlation.
You could do Kelsey too with Mahomes.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I did
you have 2 outs.
Nice call. Yeah.
I did over 50 drafts in the Puppy Superflex, and I never ever got Drake, London, and Kirk because they kind of go like right next to each other. The fact that this drafter just did it here with the Tyreek, Breece, Drake, London, Kirk is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a very nice start.
I agree. All right, so what have you guys been up to? Talk to me. I haven't even talked to you guys much besides random little Twitter DMs. Bindles, you start. Give me something that's going on in your life that's not fantasy football related.
Yeah, dude. As you guys have seen, I've been on the balcony because my girlfriend's taking the bar exam next week. So she's doing practice questions and practice exams, and I'm fucking loud as shit. So I'm out on the balcony. It's pretty nice actually. Like it's a little switch up. Get the wind in your face. So yeah, man, that's been good. And had Ben Gretsch on last night, which was honestly pretty insane. Like that was like he was just such a bro. Like just talking to him, like it was, especially watching so much of his stuff, it really was just like felt like I was talking to someone I already knew, which was really crazy.
I completely agree. Watching that video last night, I was like, dude, Ben is the man. Like he
is,
no matter whose
absolutely.
channel he's on, he just seems like just a genuinely like great guy. So I completely agree with that.
But yeah,
not that I
Tyler-
didn't think he wouldn't be, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. But it is. He lives up to the hype, absolutely. Tyler, what's going on with you, bro? How's Minnie treating you?
Oh, it's good. Minneapolis is good. I also, yeah, obviously, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to dox Neil, but he said it in my comments. I thought he lived in Minneapolis. He doesn't. He lives in St. Paul, but I said it anyway.
That's the capital. I know that much.
Yeah, there you go. Right, capital Minnesota, not Minneapolis. But yeah, I've been good. I coach high school football, so our summer stuff just started on Monday. So getting up 6 a.m., going to the school, doing just like. Just waits this week. Next week, we're actually gonna get on the field. Go through some. I'm a offensive coach. I coach quarterback, sophomore QB / varsity QB. This is the way because 10 through 12 for our program practice all together. So I practice like varsity's like if you practice with varsity if you're in 10th grade, but I'm the actual sophomore QB's coach. So excited just to kind of get after the season. It's always a grind, but I'm like the first day I was like just genuinely excited to get back at it, see all the boys, just hang out. So I'm
Dude,
really excited.
How many years have you been doing that?
Last year was my first year at high school. I coached my brother's 8th grade team. So my brother's a sophomore and he's gonna be a sophomore next year. So, but yeah, so that's been fun. Last year was my first year at varsity, but yeah.
Hell yeah.
And what gives you the credentials to coach a football team?
I'm just fucking smart as shit.
Okay. All right. Well,
Look,
let's listen to this guy.
And I'm a great vibes guy. I'm a great.
You are
vibes.
a great vibes guy.
Great vibes guy. Yep. In the coaching.
You just got to get off
coaching
Rashad
office.
White, man.
Okay, like Deshaun this far after ADP is tempting. Like I
did a stream last night with my friend MP43, and we didn't even really need a third quarterback, but it was like Deshaun Watson in the 18th round of a Best Ball Mania. I'm like, dude, I'm taking him. Like I don't care. Like I know it's wrong and we won't win because of the moral high ground, but I'm taking him.
I'm just gonna do it, man. I mean, like I'll stack him up with Amari here. I mean, that feels fine.
Wow, that's a nice little awesome. On the turn, you got to make decisions like that. Are you probably done at quarterback at this point with 3 there?
100% done.
Okay.
I didn't even want to take a quarterback there, but like that far after ADP, and like my plan with it because it's a 3 entry max. My plan was just to kind of do 3 different strategies. So like one where I go kind of heavy quarterback, one where it's like kind of in the middle, and I want to build like 1-0 quarterback build, just one of each strategy for a 3 entry max. So. We'll be doing the second strategy on my stream at 7:15 Central after this stream is over. So we'll come and hang out for some more Superflex. We got you covered. PPR Tyler's channel.
Absolutely.
I put myself in the third person. I was not a fan of
that. That's fair.
Sorry guys, there was a freaking
you got a plane flying by?
Yeah, there was a fire truck driving by, so I had to go on mute for a little bit. Didn't want to destroy your ears. So Tyler, you just got a little Amari Cooper, Deshaun Watson stack there. That's pretty nice there at the turn. I feel like both those ADPs feel really nice on this, and you get the stack. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I just gotta focus on receiver. I think the rest of the way because I mean you still need to draft receivers, and Amari's my number 1. Doesn't feel great, doesn't feel terrible, but I think we just gotta hammer receiver, get another tight end. We're done at running back for a while with Bijan and Henry. So,
best ball guy, how are you feeling about your team so far, and what are you thinking at this pick here?
Feeling really good about my team so far. Geno does go there. I do have Metcalf, but as you guys know, I'm down to fade Metcalf or Geno for the obvious late season quarterback that Seattle will be using, and he's almost free in this Superflex contest. But I'm feeling really good. I'm looking at Pittman here, obviously top of ADP. There's I was listening to the Stealing Bananas podcast, which is Ben Gretch and Sean Siegel there. I'm going to take Christian Kirk here. Just basically they said there is something to still be said about a 0 RB build and a Superflex thing because it's the same logic still applies. I can still get 80 to 90% of the production if the starter goes down at running back. Whereas once these wide receivers are off the board, you cannot find the replacements for them. Yes, they are less valuable, but it's still really nice to have 3 to 4 really solid high upside guys. I already have Mahomes. I have him stacked with Kelsey, so I have elite tight end. I have Gibbs as an elite running back. And there's other little things that play into that too, like Dog Pound's been doing some weekly winners data, and he's proven that the running backs actually flex more often than wide receivers in that contest in particular. And I think that actually applies to most underdog contests. So just still proving that late running back is still very viable almost no matter what kind of contest you're playing, because it's the same thing every time. When Saquon goes down, yes, Will Shipley is not Saquon, but he is 80% of what Saquon can do on that team. And maybe that's the wrong name and the wrong example. It's just the first one that came to mind, but it's the same kind of concept.
It's so important for running backs.
Yeah, it's like if you give any dude 20 carries, he's going to do something with it. Like, it's just a problem when he's not getting the ball at all. Whereas, I don't know, I've done this expression a lot. Damn, Hollywood Brown does go there. I will be reaching on Xavier Worthy here for the double stack. Or do I go as another quarterback? I really wanted Hollywood Brown there instead of Worthy, or I go running back here.
I don't want to say anything because there's a guy I would definitely click here, but I'm not going to say anything because we're battling.
I don't know who.
Anyone can do something with 20 touches except for Dameon Pierce. That's true.
That rookie year though, he looked all right. Let's see. I'm gonna go Bryce Young just because he's starting all 17. Like JG McCarthy. Yeah, JG McCarthy. You know, Darnold is still listed as the quarterback one, and then Derek Carr. Obviously, people have concerns about injury guarantees. Maybe Rattler comes in. I don't know, but Bryce Young is at least playing the whole year regardless of injury.
Yeah, Bryce Young was my most drafted player in Puppy Superflex. I just think, like I said, kind of the same reasons why I like Leggett. I think the offense is just going to be better. I think Bryce Young flashed a lot last year. Have you seen that montage that's going around of all the sick throws that he made that his receivers just could not come up with? Like, that's making the rounds. There's one for Trevor Lawrence, who also too got paid today, which we should maybe touch on too. So
we should have like a money drop for Trevor Lawrence. Congratulations.
Yeah, right.
$55 million a year.
55 a year is crazy.
That's insane.
That's Burrow money, and you haven't even done anything close to that.
He's got one playoff win, and like all his other seasons have been pretty. Like,
did they win that game? Who did they beat? The Chargers, right? Yeah. That's right. But then they were like 7-2 last year and didn't even make it.
They were 6-2, and then they went 3-6 down after their bye.
Yeah,
that's part of my ETN lore that I keep spewing.
Right.
Because ETN was like the second in touches or first in touches in the league, and before the bye, then he was like, I think he saw like 50 less touches in the same amount of span. Like,
were you the one speculating that he might have got hurt that they're not talking about or something?
Yeah, it just feels like because why would you stop giving him the ball? Because they were winning games and then they started losing games and he wasn't getting the ball. So it feels like he must have been hurt or something. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Terry here just because I think he's a little week 17 with Bijan too. It feels good.
That's another thing is all the week 17 stuff totally applies to Superflex. You still want to be pretty savvy with that stuff.
Oh, this is the next pick where like I really don't like drafting a ton of Keenan Allen. Freaking Emo Cowboy made me feel not as good about Calvin Ridley yesterday.
Not as good about Calvin Ridley or better?
Yeah, he didn't like Calvin Ridley, so he kind of had some good points that I was thinking. Let's go. I don't click a lot of Jaden Reed, so I'm gonna click.
Love Jaden Reed, man. I think that's such a fun pick.
Why do you like? What's like your like? Do you have like kind of a lean on Jaden Reed? Like he's kind of just feels like another guy to me. Like I'll draft him. I don't have anything against him. I don't think he's that bad. It's just like I feel like he's like not as big of a name as like Keenan Allen or like these other guys in this range.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, Keenan Allen for one is one you can definitely poke holes in. I mean, 32, new quarterback, and he's not playing it's just he's not with Justin Herbert as the clear-cut one anymore. I mean, he's always been a volume guy. He's never even been a touchdown guy. And so now, how does he get there? Like, how does Keenan Allen finish as a top 12 wide receiver this season? Like, how does it happen? Does he go for 170 targets like he always does? Probably not with DJ Moore and Rome Odunze there. Does he somehow have the touchdowns break his way? That's very unlikely with a rookie quarterback. Just throughout history, they don't throw a lot of touchdowns. And then you factor in 32. He's had hamstring problems. He's on a new team, different. Shane Waldron's not everyone's favorite offensive coordinator. There's a lot of risk with Keenan Allen in my mind, personally.
I agree.
The pros I've heard is like he's a safety blanket for a rookie because he's always open kind of thing. But maybe he'll be good for the first 4 or 5 weeks. but I don't see it playing out the whole time.
The pros is he was wide receiver 3 in average points per game last year, but that is also
gonna say,
completely
yeah,
different
he was-
offense.
Yeah, well,
He was
dude, I
scoring like
love
20 points
Keenan
a
Allen
game.
too, so it hurts me to say this. Like, it really does. He's been one of my favorites throughout fantasy since I've been playing it. But
Yeah,
I
PPR
don't know.
monster.
Yeah, maybe this is DraftKings, I'd be more into it. But
All right, I'm going to pose a question to the panel. Gun to your head, you have to rank the 3 Bears wide receivers and who has the most fantasy points to last. What are you ranking it? Let's start with Bindles.
Most fantasy points to last.
Yeah, first to least.
I would go Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Rome Odunze.
Oh, okay.
most to least in Keenan's
to least.
first. Oh my god!
I don't know why you guys are. I get he's old, but like he's better. He's just good. Like he literally put up 20 points per game last year. Why are we just assuming he's going to be bad? Like I don't know. I just don't.
I'm not
I don't-
assuming he's
that
gonna be
doesn't-
bad. I don't think he's gonna. I don't know.
What about you, best
Hold
ball
on.
guy?
I gotta make
You're on the
a pick here.
clock. Yeah,
One
make your
second.
pick. I'll do
Yeah.
mine then. Mine is probably going to be DJ Moore, Adunze, Keenan Allen. I'm kind of almost like flipping yours, but I just think
That's exactly
I-
what mine is.
I think Adunze, man, you could go Adunze.
I think
here,
Adunze
but
might be the one, honestly.
that's what I'm saying. Like everyone just assumes like he's a rookie, whatever, and I get all that, but I think there's really something to be said about like I think the rookie connection thing like exists. I feel like we've seen a lot of examples of it, and like the ones that come to mind are obviously you have Tank Dell and Stroud last year, just a rookie connection. He told him to go get him. It's reported that Caleb did the same thing with Adunze. He's like, you better get him at 9. A little bit smaller one, but it's only because I'm a Falcons fan that I remember when Desmond Ritter and London were together. Like when they kind of came in, like when Ritter got the job at the end of his rookie year, like he targeted Drake London. Like it was like 10 targets a game in an offense that did not throw the ball at all. So
Isn't that also like a bad QB thing that they just target their number one receiver though? Like I don't know. Like,
yeah, but I don't know.
I don't
It fits
disagree
what
with,
I think
with
too.
your point.
Yeah.
I could see them all honestly being really close to each other, but I just don't see how Keenan separates himself like he did when he was on the Chargers.
Yeah.
Because
It's gonna
there's
be hard for any of
so
those
much
guys to
more
be like a top
competition.
12 guy.
Yeah, there's so much more competition. The rookie, and like, I just don't see how he gets the 150 to 170 targets that we're used to seeing from him when he's not playing with Justin Herbert in a Chargers offense. Well, you're looking for Njoku. Oh, you have Watson.
Yeah, somebody get in Joker
Yeah,
there. That's okay. I'm
Back
just
to
gonna double up on
Reed,
this
man.
thing.
Just rookie year for what he did. I mean, they got manufactured touches. They got an ambiguous wide receiver room. Like the next closest guy would be Watson, but obviously we know his injury history. He's like the guy in my mind who basically like got them into the playoffs. Like he was balling out with Jordan Love at the back half of the year. So once again, you could almost argue like a rookie connection. Like there was Jordan Love's first season and Jaden Reed's first season, technically like starting, and they had the bond, man. He even played hurt, dude. He's a dog. Like he was really banged up through the end of the season and still played through it. Was like having good games.
Yeah, I guess for my Keenan Allen, and it's really like because you're talking about who scores more season long. Like it's just purely based on like if I'm just taking the season long. It's like in actual best ball, like I definitely Rome is my choice there between the 3, especially at cost. I think late season upside is absolutely huge for him. But if we're just playing the like who's going to score the most points, that's why my bet would be Keenan. It's not that I like Keenan like a ton. It's just purely based on I just think he's going to get season long more. So
I bet that's probably maybe that's like the safe bet in a way, but spike week wise and what you're probably looking for on a best ball team is probably more so in the profile of a Rome or of a DJ Moore.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's just based off the question. Yeah, and I agree. I think Reed is like the prototypical second year breakout. And talk about best ball picks. Like yes, the Packers offense is going to be kind of wonky and just like maybe it'll be kind of week to week with who goes off. But like it's best ball. We don't need Jaden Reed to go off every single week. We only need him to go off like 5 or 6 times. And I think he's very talented, tied to an ascending quarterback. And he's a really good pick around that range and a really big upside shot, which I think is what you want, especially in that range where wide receiver thins out a little bit. So definitely like Reed.
Yeah. Exactly. It's the last one of the tier that where you have a proven commodity on a fun offense before you start getting into Lad McConkey, Keon Coleman, Jordan Addison, kind of like this, like we're kind of unsure kind of range, but it's still upside, but we're kind of unsure. At least everything in the Reed situation is the same. They didn't bring in a receiver. Jordan Love's going into like year 2. You could say he's going into year 2. Like everything is pointing up for that upside case at least.
Yeah, and Christian Watson was going like I think between like pick 36 and pick 40 for most of the year last year. So
Right. Yeah.
that's like a 15 pick discount on the year 2 breakout guy for the Packers. And
Exactly. And that was before we even knew if Love was good or not.
Yeah,
And now we have a
exactly.
firm understanding that Love is good. And now we're getting his wide receiver 1, assumably his wide receiver 1, like even like you said, 15 picks after where Watson was going last year, who was just purely a speculatory bet that probably would have worked if he stayed healthy, to be honest.
yeah, there was a really good Christian Watson stat that I saw. Here, let me see if I can find it.
While we're on the Packers receivers, like, are you guys in on Wicks? Because right now he's in like in regular 1 QB formats, like around that 11, 12 round range kind of thing. Like, are you in on him in that range where like he goes around guys like that we know for sure are like wide receiver 2s on different teams where like, you know, it's like that Judy range. I know Judy is like isn't your guys' favorite player, but like dudes that we know are actually going to play and do have some upside. Like, are you guys in at Wicks at that price? Like, I'll click them every now and again, but it's just like it feels scary for like you want to talk about speculatory. Like Wicks is like the ultimate. Like we know this guy is good, but like how is that going to translate? You know, in 2024, like if we think Reed's going to be back, we think Watson's going to be good. Like Dubs isn't just exactly going to go away. It's like I really question like Wicks really has to be like establish himself as the best receiver on that team, and like he's got to take somebody's job. So I'm really interested to see how that whole thing's going to shake out because there's a lot of mouths to feed. Like assuming that you know Watson, Dubs, and Reed and Wicks and all the tight ends too. Like it feels really interesting. Like one of these Packers guys could be like a league winner because like all their prices are so low. They're all kind of dragging each other down in a way.
Right. Well, to comment back on Purple Yosh here, we're taking Mike Evans the second round, so we must think Baker's really good too then, huh? But no, it's of course Jordan Love might not be great. But to go back, to the Wicks thing, I totally see what you're saying, Tyler. Are you aware of how potent the industry is right now on Wicks team? Like you're coming against a monster right now talking.
I'm not even
no one's made a downside case for Wicks. So do you want to be the first?
Nobody's made one. I'm just like I feel like I'm not even like I still take him. I'm not saying I'm out on Wicks. That's not even like what I'm really saying. I probably draft more Wicks than I do Watson, but let me make my picks here real quick.
On that range, right?
Jesus, I really don't want to take.
I do think Leggett is very interesting right around.
Dude,
that
he's such a good pick. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
like, unequivocally,
he's the best ball pick.
I mean, after you guys, Tyler, after you take your picks here, I'm gonna actually, because we're talking about the Packers, I actually have my Bindles stat of the day, so I will
Let's go.
Rip that off after you go through your picks.
Ooh, Chase. I know best ball guy likes Chase Brown, so I'm gonna take Chase Brown.
Congrats, like Chase Brown as well. All right, let's get this guy.
I don't get no hate cause everything I state is great. You think you're safe the town over, I'll be going state to state. Blowing stogies, ball heads in the mag, sweet tape. If you heard that I was broke, you were in a dream state.
All right, so this one is courtesy of Ryan J. Heath on Twitter. He's on part of Fantasy Points, super sharp analyst if you want to check him out. But this is a tweet from him. It says, Christian Watson, round 7, has 6 games above 17.5 underdog points over the past 2 years. That's the same amount as Brandon Ayuk, round 2, and Jalen Waddle, round 2. That's despite Ayuk playing in 10 more games than Watson over that time period. So yeah, like, people get so scared off of, like, just the inconsistency, and I do understand, but, like, when Watson has been healthy, and even with missing that many games, like, he is the prototypical, like, Will Fuller, just, like, gonna have crazy games, and we're talking about Reed. We're talking, right, he's cheaper than Reed, and I don't know. I just think people have, like, a bias against him, and I think he's still a pretty good pick in that range, and you don't need him to be a guy who gets consistent targets every week or production every single week, even if he misses a few games. If he gives you even a few of those huge spike weeks, that's so important, especially at that like round pick 80 ADP. So I'm still in on Christian Watson. Not to say I don't like the other guys. I like all of them at cost, but yeah.
I love it, man. I've been coming around to the narrative of just like, what if, just like, what if this man is healthy? He might make that my read take be really bad, to be honest. Yoshi did not like my Baker Mayfield retort, but yeah, it didn't really have any purpose. But I don't know. I think Jordan Love is good, and I think Christian Watson, after what he showed his rookie year, like he probably does transcend all the other receivers on the team. Realistically, like he is probably like a very solid tier above the other receivers. It's literally just the soft tissue hamstring problems. So
let's hope
I don't mind it.
If he balances out his size of his legs, because it was I think 20% difference between his left and right leg, and so they say he's been addressing it, so that's pretty bullish. But we'll see if he tweaks it again this summer. Then I'll probably be out because I'll just be like, can't keep happening.
Oh,
can't
God.
have that keep happening. But knock on wood, he'll be good. So.
Real quick,
Yeah.
coming back to the Wicks thing, I just looked it up because I was curious, and because like it's just like, how is he going to get on the field? That's like my biggest question right now. I'm not saying I'm not going to draft him, but it's my biggest question. Is like he has to beat out, assuming Watson stays healthy, like all those guys, he has to beat out one of them. The guy that he most likely is going to beat out, the guy that I think none of us like to draft, is Romeo Doubs. Like he feels like he had some really bad efficiency analytics. If you go on Player Profile, you go check those out, because I definitely looked at them as like it was like number like 121 win rate versus man, like crazy stuff like that. So like he caught a lot of touchdowns, which is why he was like a good fantasy player last. I think he had 8 touchdown catches. But looking at this, like the Packers ran the 12th most 12 personnel, or the third most 12 personnel groupings at like rate last year. The only other two teams that did more were the Falcons and the Patriots. They were 18th and 11 personnel. So it's like, it's not like they're spreading you out. Like they have 2 really good tight ends. So I just don't like, they're not just like, all right, we're just going to go 10 to get all these guys on the field. I think they're going to play a lot of more 12 this year too. Like they have Josh Jacobs, like they want to establish more of a running game. So my question is, how much does he get on the field? We know he's good, but just because he's good doesn't mean he's guaranteed to be this huge, what are the actual odds in this offense with all those mouths to feed that he finishes as a top 18 guy? Because like people are talking about like he's good, like he could finish like that. I just don't see the opportunity for him in this offense to like finish like as a top 18, top 20 type of guy. Okay, I'm on the clock here. Here we go. I need a tight end. We'll take Musgrave. Yeah.
Best ball guy, did you take Leggett?
He did.
Hell yeah, I did. I got Bryce Young.
Think we have to do something.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no, man. I woke up ready, man. I got a call right after I got drafted. They was coming to pick me up at 9:30 in the morning. I told them I'm going to be ready.
Oh my God, it's a beautiful day whenever we get the Leggett clip.
Did you see my tweet last night? I said anytime I get Xavier Leggett after ADP on stream, I will recreate the Kai Cenat, Kevin Hart and Drewski video. Like I have it. I have the Usher song pulled up in the StreamYard. It's ready to go. I just need the opportunity to present itself. Maybe we'll get it today on stream. We'll see.
Hell yeah. So
You guys aren't ready for this next pick. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I'm excited.
So Tyler, you got Luke Musgrave and Jalen Wright there at the turn. I guess we're talking about Packers guys, right? So that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Packers.
Have either of you ever been to Wisconsin?
Yes.
Yes, my family is from Wisconsin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my mom's side.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been to Wisconsin quite a bit. It's just Wisconsin's probably like a 40-minute drive from here, like the border at least. But went to Wisconsin Dells a ton growing up. Like every spring break, it was Wisconsin Dells. I haven't been to
famous video Wisconsin Dells.
Wait, what?
your video that you're gonna release at a certain.
No. That was from Duluth. So I went
Okay.
I went to college up northern Minnesota.
Yeah.
And on Lake Superior, and that video is in Duluth, Park Point Beach. It's like a 2-3 mile stretch. You'd like think you're like California or something. Like it's
I've
just
been to
all
Duluth
beach.
one time.
Oh, have you actually? Oh,
Yeah.
for football.
No, not even for football. Just
Oh.
randomly, I was driving through and I went there one time. Yeah.
How you just driving through Duluth?
Taysom Hill, baby.
Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
God, you want to go Taysom Hill?
Elite pick right there.
I just saw. Did
Elite
he have some
pick.
news drop about him today?
He restructured his deal, and Juwan Johnson's getting foot surgery.
Yep.
Okay, he restructured the deal.
So-
That's what it was.
Dude, that's like
Pay
that's
me.
huge.
Gotcha.
Okay, so now we're basically good with Patrick Mahomes, Bryce Young, and Taysom Hill. We just got to finish this out here.
Yeah, Duluth. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if I want to dox myself, but I went to school in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is like it might as well be Wisconsin. It might as well be Minnesota. Like it's like
Yeah.
literally the middle of nowhere. So yeah, I did a couple Wisconsin trips. I did a couple Minnesota trips. So I'm familiar with the area.
When were you in Duluth? Our paths might have crossed. What year was that?
I don't know. Probably 2016.
Oh, yep, definitely not. I was
Wait,
still in
when-
high school.
When did you graduate?
2022. So I was there from 2018 to 2022.
Dude, I forgot how old we are.
Yeah, how old are you again?
Basketball guy. I'm 29.
29.
I'm 29.
Jesus Christ, you guys are old as shit.
Minnesota. Yeah.
Minnesota.
Anthony's saying shout out to the UP from the opposite corner. Are you from what's it called? Sault Ste. Marie?
Hey,
Shot
Eric,
in the
can you
dark.
talk me through the Taysom Hill thing? Why do you like the Taysom Hill pick?
Well, dude, we're playing SUPERFLEX. Juwan Johnson's getting foot surgery, and this guy just got restructured like they're totally using him. I mean,
No, I agree. But it's just
Yeah.
like I'm just curious. Like, I don't know. It's just
okay,
like,
and then if Derek Carr does go down, maybe it's Taysom, maybe it's not even Rattler. And
Yeah.
then when I remember the year when he did start over whoever got hurt, bro, he was like a plug and play 20-point minimum every week at the quarterback position.
yeah, because he's gonna run.
And he was only playing like 60% of the snaps, even when he was the quote unquote starter too. They were still bringing in whoever that was to fill in for that. I mean, dude, they do the gadgety stuff. He has 2 touchdown games along with some catches, some rushing yards, maybe even some passes. Like it's a super fun super flex pick. I mean, he could make my lineup over Bryce Young, like maybe 3 weeks out of the year, even if Derek Carr is healthy the whole time.
Helps out with a little bye week stuff there too.
Yeah, I know it's nothing like that crazy. Like obviously that'd be much better if he was a tight end position, obviously, but just yeah, especially with the Juwan Johnson injury, it sounded pretty serious, man. I mean, he's getting foot surgery in the middle of June right now. He might not be ready to go, and who knows? That stuff kind of lingers. We saw what happened with Najee Harris with the foot play, Derrick Henry with the foot problem, Kyron's got foot problems, so maybe that's unrelated. I don't know. I'm just saying the foot is tough to deal with when you're playing NFL football.
Just
Yeah,
love getting
that's-
Darnell Mooney 14 picks after ADP. It's absolutely just a great feeling.
Yeah, I saw him. I kind of liked him, but I feel really strong at wide receiver, considering I only have to start 2 every week. So I kind of passed, but
No
I really
fan
like
favorite?
this team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on now. Noah Fant is like It's actually because I've taken a stand this year where like I've been a very conservative drafter in the past where like, you know, my highest guys might be like 21% owned. Like last year that was the case. And I'll probably be similar to the same thing this year, but like I do want to have like and those 2 guys for me are obviously Leggett and Fant, where it's like, you know, just get like upper like 20s, 30s type of thing. It's like hard to get those guys where it's like you feel like you're clicking them all the time. And you look and you're like, oh, it's still only like 26% exposure. It's like if I want, like, you really have to like make a concerted effort to just keep clicking the same guy over and over again, even though it feels like you're at like 75% exposure, you're really not, because like it drafts you miss them. It's like, oh, like you pretty much like to get 30, you pretty much have to draft them in like, you know, 1 out of 3 drafts like you do. So it's really interesting, just kind of making it a point to try and get these guys, because you have to take them pretty much every opportunity you get. Because when you don't take them, it doesn't feel like your exposure goes down, but it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a
super
guy
excited.
that I really like, I'm willing to just lean in. Like I'm trying to think who like.
So
yeah,
do
like,
you guys have anyone like you're gonna just draft a ton of maybe like get upwards of 30% this year and just like like all in kind of thing?
I got
Deontay?
close to Mark Andrews in the big board with that. I'll be close to Mark Andrews probably.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
still
that's
about
even more
22%.
scary, like because like both my guys, they're like what round would you get Leggett? I guess in regular it'd be like round like 11 and after.
Yeah, no, you're
But-
not wrong. Like I am missing a lot of people. Like I am missing a lot of players that I would not mind taking when they fall. Like
Yeah.
ETN, Pacheco, Jacobs, all these players that I'm like, okay, in the 5th round, I could definitely see how this works. Don't have much of them, if any. Other elite tight ends, like I'm kind of at field average, but yeah, it is kind of scary.
I mean,
Is
if
there a
that's-
dude?
it-
There you go.
I was gonna say, if there's one guy I want to be like in the early rounds, it is Andrews as well. Like I had so many crazy Miami and Baltimore teams that like in the regular season they were absolutely cooking, and then Andrews went down, and then it just went all downhill from there. But like he could be the tight end one easily. Like he's very mispriced. What's going on, Polak?
I think we see it. We see what
Yeah,
happened. The
somehow.
Seattle quarterback got drafted.
Yeah.
Bro,
Brutal.
Come on.
I
mean,
think
I was taking him on this pick. It was a lock. I have the DK Metcalf stack. I have the Odunze bring back. It's not the end of the world, of course, but it was like my exact plan. I wanted it to all come together there.
I love your confidence that like you just think like Sam Howell's like locked in to be like the week
Sam
17.
I just
Howell's
think
not
Geno's
good.
not good.
What? How is
I
he
think
not good?
Geno's good. I think Geno is
Yeah,
good.
Geno's
No,
good.
look at last year. He was terrible.
Look at the year before though, and like Shane
He was
Waldron
injured.
is
He
fucking
had-
awful.
Canales. He had the quarterback whisper. I bet Baker's bad this year too.
I think Ryan Grubb's like a great OC. Like again, he hasn't done the NFL, but we've seen some of these college guys come into the league and just kind of like really just like kind of
I
overhaul.
don't know, man. When
the
the team gives up, they move down in 2 pretty important rounds of the NFL draft to go get a guy. It just says that they're not that confident in Geno. That's all it's telling me. I'm just following the moves.
But didn't they like that trade was like more of like they swapped stuff. They didn't
They
just like
moved out of the 4th round into the 5th. That's a decent little. And then they went from a 6 to a 7. I don't know. but-
I more
That's
see it-
about what like top tier like kind of backups like that's kind of like what that feels like 4th, 5th
top tier
type stuff.
backups. See, I like that lingo.
Top tier
I was gonna
backup.
say,
Backup.
You're talking, yeah,
Backup.
Geno's a top tier backup in my
No,
mind.
he's not. No, he's not.
it
Okay, well,
feels
where
like-
you were not a Geno Bull your whole life. He's been ass until 2 years ago, and then he
Well,
has
yeah,
one
he
good
was-
season, and then he's ass again. It's like, okay,
It
so what
wasn't
are we
his
doing
fault. They
here?
had a bad season. He's a terrible OC.
Yo,
Terrible OC.
Howell
Purple
was,
Yosh, get on this guy. If I can't like Jordan Love for good 6 games, he can't like Geno Smith for 1 good year out of his like 7-year career.
Last time I checked, 18 games is more than 6.
Yeah, but what about the 72 he played before that?
They wrote him off. He didn't write back.
Sam Howell was 100% a Philly Eagles. Like, we have an opportunity to get a quarterback that we can like flip in the future, and like it wasn't that much of a cost. And whatever, it's good to have a good backup quarterback. It's important. So I don't know.
Bindles,
And-
you're the one who had Ben Gretch on yesterday. You need to talk to him about that, man. Him and Sean Siegel are definitely telling me that Howell has a good chance of starting at the end of the year.
No.
maybe.
And
he
those
plays
dudes
a
are
few
they know
games,
what they're
but-
talking about.
Yeah, but they don't know. They don't have a magic 8-ball.
True. I just think it'd be fun if he was. All right, he's a fun backup in a super flex, if nothing else. Like he has
That's fair.
is at least from a fantasy upside in the 17th round to stack with DK. It would have been a fun pick, and if nothing less. But
you
In Superflex, you can make the case.
sure, yes, I'm not taking him in my best ball manias or anything.
have you guys heard this Michael Wilson like coach speak? It's got me really intrigued.
It's been really strong, yeah.
Yeah, it's
On
like
what?
Kyler came out and talked about him. Like he was like, I'll call this guy like 3 a.m. to like just talk about stuff. He's like, yeah, like let's go throw or like let's
Wait,
like
who, Jonathan
the-
Gannon? Wait, what'd you
No,
say?
like Jonathan Gannon was. We're talking about Michael Wilson, but like Jonathan
Oh.
Gannon really was talking about Michael Wilson. Like he's gonna be like I think people were a little scared of the Zay Jones signing because Zay Jones is like what the most average receiver to ever touch the NFL, and but so I think people were a little scared of that because like Michael Wilson, like he had some decent games last year, I think he had like a 20-point game last year, and just kind of coming in, like people were like, oh, it's probably Zay Jones, the wide receiver too. Behind Marv, but like I think it's Michael Wilson still, and like his price dipped after the Zay Jones signing, and they kind of go a little back to back. Like Michael Wilson's got an ADP of what? I guess I could look right here. He's got an ADP of 201, and Zay Jones is 214. So like they're pretty much back to back, and I just think like Michael Wilson, like someone like what if this offense is just like really good, kind of built through the air a little bit. Like Kyler's a good quarterback. I don't think that's up for dispute. So I feel like the Cardinals, like outside of like Marv and like Kyler's like still pretty cheap considering like what he's done, like what he's never been below a top 12 fantasy quarterback and average points per game. Like Kyler's a good fantasy quarterback and a good real life quarterback. So I just like the Michael Wilson. Like that might be a guy that I really start to target, in these like I guess in real just like 15th, 16th round. Like
Yeah, I think he's fallen enough to where I like that take. Like I've like, for example, on some of my Best Ball Mania teams, I'll take a Puka or a Cooper Cup, and just how the draft's going, I get to a point where I'm at the Kyler pick, and I'm looking at like all these different running backs, and then it's just like Kyler sitting there, and I'm like, I already have the bring back from the Rams game with Puka or Cooper Cup. I'll just take Kyler here. Like, there's going to be plenty of running backs to choose from on my next pick that's coming up in like 4 picks. I'll just take Kyler here and backstack him. I'm like, there's Michael Wilson. There's still James Conner, Trey Benson coming up. There's obviously, if Wilson goes, then I can get into Zay Jones and Dortch, but mainly focusing on Michael Wilson as a year 2 upside player. And I'm just looking for that big spike week potential, week 17. Hope I get lucky. I mean, he's a deep threat guy, if nothing else. But
do you guys want some fun DeMarcus Robinson stats that I looked up? I did a write-up about DeMarcus Robinson. I picked him. I just thought about
that'd be fun. Tell me about some DeMarcus Robinson.
I do have to get out of here in a couple minutes, so do your DeMarcus Robinson stat. Let's give our 18th round, scroll the F down, less than 5% owned picks.
Got it.
And then I do have a heart out. So
got a heart
no,
out.
You're good. I'll be fast. So from weeks 13 to 17, DeMarcus Robinson was the wide receiver 12. He was averaging 6.8 targets, 4.2 receptions, 63 yards per game. He had 4 touchdowns in 5 games to close the year, back on a 1-year deal. And this is the 11 personnel stuff that I was really interested in. So the Rams didn't have any notable target competition. It's the same guys there. Tutu's there. He's like DeMarcus Robinson feels like he's locked in to be the wide receiver 3. And the Rams ran 11 personnel rate at 93.1%. That was number 1 in the league. Just to put in how crazy that is, the Commanders, who were number 5 in the league, were 73.4%. So they ran 20% more than the number 5 11 personnel most like highest rate.
That's
like
pretty crazy. And they don't have Higbee. They have Colby Parkinson. So I mean, that's probably going to continue, right? Like,
assuming that DeMarcus Robinson could be on the field, like he earned a ton of targets, caught a lot of touchdowns last year. Like I love clicking him like at the end of draft, especially stacked with Stafford. Like it's a no brainer.
All right, you guys want to do the less than 5% owned for Best Ball Mania?
Yeah.
All right.
Why don't you go first, sir?
Sure. I know we're doing a super flex, but this is all applying to Best Ball Mania based off bbmdb.com. So we were taking players that are 5% or less drafted and saying who could be an option for you as an 18th round pick. I'm going to take the chalk this week. Sorry, guys. But I'm going to say, but I don't think it's chalk, actually, because there's 2 ways you can go about this. I'm taking Daniel Bellinger over Theo Johnson. He has a 9. So everyone wants to go Theo Johnson because of the RAS score, right? It's like a 9.98 RAS score. Guess what? Daniel Bellinger was almost a 9.7 RAS score. He's had 2 seasons so far, and take him, Tyler. He's only dropped 3 passes in both seasons. The dude's got awesome hands, and then this is more anecdotal, but even Travis Kelce himself said he was the 2nd best tight end in the league after his rookie season. Okay, I mean, that's how much at least other tight ends respect him. Also, I think the Giants' general plan last year with bringing in Waller was they were just looking for a saving grace. I think they're going to get that from Neighbors this year, and they're going to go back to Bellinger. He already has rapport with Daniel Jones. He looked good his rookie year. He even looked good last year when Waller was hurt. he still had some decent games, even when the offense was in complete shambles. So I'm personally Daniel Bellinger over Theo Johnson moving forward unless we get news changing that. But for now, I'm going Bellinger.
I'm going Eric Gray. He's still only 5% owned, and I like Tyrone Tracy. It's not a bet against Tyrone Tracy, but it's like he's only drafted 5% of the time, and he could be the RB2 there. And there's some positive camp report news about him, so I just think he makes sense as a scroll the F down 18th round pick. If you have some correlation or other stuff going on, could be huge leverage on the field there on Tyrone Tracy. So that's mine. And then PPR Tyler, who's your scroll the F down pick of the day?
I think people have jumped the shark a tad on Jalen McMillan. I really like Jalen McMillan coming out, but I also really like Trey Palmer, man. Trey Palmer just feels like he was good last year in an offense that I thought like people didn't really expect him to be good, but he had some decent games. There's the famous thing where is it like he said like, he tweets out like I woke up pissed off or something like that.
Yeah,
and he just scored touchdowns every time he did that. So I thought that was interesting, but like that was just kind of a fun tidbit. But I just think Trey Palmer is actually good. He's a really good size speed guy, kind of a field stretcher more than like Mike Evans is a field stretcher too, but like kind of it feels like a different way. It's not like Mike Evans is like a blazer. Like he's not like fast. He's just kind of like a deep threat. So I think Trey Palmer has some nice, weekly upside just given the size and speed. McMillan's kind of a similar guy, but like I don't think Trey Palmer should be like, yeah, McMillan had my spot. Like I don't know. I think they just want another receiver.
They're different. They're completely different.
Yeah,
completely different players. So I like Trey Palmer I'm only drafting Trey Palmer when I'm stacked up with if I have a Tampa Bay thing going on. But I'm usually clicking Palmer like 3 out of 4 times over McMillan in that round 20. Like you can get Palmer in these threes. So.
Hot take. I definitely like McMillan, but I don't hate it if you're pairing him in to mix it in because it is an ambiguous situation. All right, guys, I do have to get out of here. I have a show with Billy Jones from Spike Week immediately over on my channel. PPR Tyler, what's going on with you? And then Best Ball Guy, I think you have a show later on, but close us out.
Yeah, and we're live at 7:15. Maybe we should have coordinated that better. Go watch my stream. Do not watch Bindles. I'm just 100% kidding. Probably go watch Bindles. We're doing a Superflex draft. Billy Jones, awesome analytics. Go watch Bindles stream. Do not watch mine.
Yeah, I got some little lame dude named Emo Cowboy coming on it. I don't even know. Like Tyler's talking in Central Time, Bindle's talking in Eastern Time, but I'll tell you in Pacific Time that I'll be back in an hour and 15 minutes with Emo Cowboy.
Perfect.
Nice.
You got the good time slot where you don't have to compete with either of us.
No,
and the randomizer is at 8 p.m. right now too. So yeah, we're going against the grinder. But
who won that? Who won that? Real quick, Bindles. Who won that? Just do a quick glance.
I think
I'd probably give it to you. Honestly.
Thank you.
I think Best Ball Guy, but it's also like
let's go
3-0, baby. If you get
3-0, yeah, right.
So much. All right, boys. Have a great night. Go head over, watch all 3 of our streams after this, and we will see you next week.